Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're having an awesome day. Here I am back with more Transformers. This time is Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. I got this for approximately $27 plus tax here in the US from Big Bot Toy Store. This is, I believe, now sold out, but I'm sure they'll do restocks. Again, this is based on the Studio Series 86 movie. We've gotten a bunch of different versions of Bumblebee, so again, it's nice to have one base on the movie itself. Here you go, you see them in the packaging. Here on the side, Studio Series 86 with Bumblebee running at you. And then on the side, you've kind of got the number and the Studio Series logo. You got the bot mode. You've got his vehicle mode. And of course, you get a bit of a background stage for action figure photography. So I'm going to open this up and give you guys a look here. So this being a Studio Series 86 figure based on the Transformers the movie, you do get your background here for photography or to display with your figures. This looks to be the inside of Unicron for anyone familiar with that movie. So you do get your little stage here that you can prop up the figure with. So here we go with Bumblebee out of the box. You will get your instructions. Additionally, you also do get one accessory with Bumblebee here, which is his handgun here, painted in silver with black. So again, nothing too crazy. I think a lot of the other Bumblebee figures came with a similar gun. So that's something he can hold in his hand as well. So you can do that. Now onto the figure itself, looking pretty cool. Again, I had so many of these Bumblebee figures. This one, again, it's aiming more for a cartoon look, right? It being Studio Series 86, I'm assuming they were going for what was in the movie and the cartoon there. And I think they've done a pretty good job of capturing that look. But it's also, again, very reminiscent of the older toys, right? You have the skinnier legs with the sort of big feet. Whereas the animated Bumblebee, right, was a bit more, proportions were a lot more even. But it's not a bad looking figure. You guys can see it there from the side. He does have a backpack. The good thing about this guy is, unlike the Netflix Bumblebee, which is also used for the cliff jumper, this is whole part. It's a part of the robot, right? So you don't have to take off the whole back to transform it. So in that sense, it's not a bit of a part former like the older Bumblebee was. Here's the back. So again, he does have a backpack, pretty big. Again, doesn't bother me too much because Bumblebee is a short, stocky, chunky little robot. I think the proportions kind of fit this guy really well. There's the head, trying to give you guys a bit of a better look, but it's a nice looking head. You got the nice Autobot symbol there on the chest, which the Netflix one did not have. So again, that's really cool. And it's all done in that classic yellow and black. Articulation wise, you can move his arms fully around. You've got a bicep articulation there as well. You can do his elbows 90. The fist can rotate fully. No articulated fingers, of course. This is a much smaller figure. You can move the whole waist all the way around. You just have to move the backpack a little out of the way. Can kick forward. He's got some really big feet. And there is articulation here by the bottom of the feet. There's also, I guess this would be his knee articulation there. So you could see it, nothing too crazy, 90 straight up. And then there is some, actually there's quite a bit of, I guess if you want to call it ankle articulation, it is pretty high up there on the knee, but it's there to emulate that. And then you can move this back and forth. This is part of the transformation aspect as well, but this gives you some additional added articulation there. And then, yeah, here's the head fully all the way around. He can't really look up and down too much. Again, not many Transformers have that ability to look fully up and down. But for a little guy, I think you'll be able to get him in some nice poses. And again, I think this is a really nice figure. Okay, so now on to the transformation. First thing you'll do is his backpack here. You're going to slide it slightly to the back and down and then up. And that'll take this and allow it to go up freely like so. Then we're going to take these arms here. We're going to fold them forward like so. Same thing here. Fold these arms in. You're going to rotate them back so they sit like this. At that point, we're going to take this and open the chest up. This opens forward, and then this will allow the head to fold in. So this is on a separate joint. So you're going to take just the head by itself and just fold it as forward as you can so it sits in there, and you can take this and tap it back in. Move this up just out of the way for now. Next thing to do is these two sections here to just slide out. So you'll be left with something like so. And then we're going to take these and swing it up and over. And then you'll see here that one last thing to do is with these, let's just swing them forward. They will tab in. So this arm here on the right has a tab that goes into the tab hole right there. So you're just going to fold this in and tab those arms in place like so. And then at that point, you could take this whole back section if you want and just push that forward like so. And then there are tabs here on the back of the wheels that align with the backlights. You're just gonna tab that in and it sits like so. Next thing to do here is the feet. So then we're gonna take the whole bottom section here has these black tabs. You're gonna untab the large one here, push the smaller one in all the way, larger one here as well. You're gonna untab that, push this all the way. Then that allows this panel here to swing open, fold this in, the tabs right in, same thing here. You're gonna open this panel, fold that in, the tabs right in without any problem. Now at this point, we're gonna join these two legs together, make sure they're nice and straight. Tabs that in. And a couple of things to do here. We're gonna take this whole waist section and just swing it down. It'll snap right in place, and then take the legs and just swing them forward. Then you're gonna take this and swing it from, there's a joint here that you could swing it by, like so. And then take essentially these two upper sections, what is essentially the knee, and fold them in forward. What that will allow you is to grab those two sections of the feet to the windshield, and then you can then move this down, and that'll free up the whole section there. Sometimes things come on tab, but you can play around with it and put everything together. And then at that point, you just got to make sure there's a little tab here, just everything tabs in place. Same thing here. You're good to go at that point. So now you have your vehicle mode. This is what it looks like on the bottom. You can see the arms and the arms and the legs. It is a little panely, so you will see a lot of panel lines and folds. I mean, they do have to take that robot mode and sort of compact it into this little what is it called, a penny racer, right? I remember that's what they call these things. Very cartoon like proportions, very reminiscent, I would say, of MP45. So that version 2.0 Bumblebee had a similar mold. In this mold, it looks pretty cool. I guess my only complaint is the fact that the yellow here on the windshield and on the side windows, because it's essentially the black painted yellow, it's completely different than the rest of the body. And then the same thing here with this one joint. The yellow here doesn't match the rest of the body. So yeah, up here, a lot of these sections they're yellow, but they're just different hues. So overall, I do like the vehicle mode. It's very cartoon-like, very, the proportions are very shrunken down, right? So this is not necessarily a licensed Volkswagen mode, and I'll show you all the other ones in a second. But right away, here is the Netflix version, and this was more, I guess, vehicle accurate, right? This looks more like it's licensed Volkswagen Beetle, even though this one's not. But again, two different strokes for different folks, right? Depending on what you're going for in your collection. I would even say that you may have a need to keep both. Okay, so now that we have Studio Series 86 Bumblebee here in his vehicle mode, figure do a quick comparison. So to start us off, here he is next to the Masterpiece. I believe this is MP45. This is version 2 of the Masterpiece figure. So you could see them there together. We'll move him out of the way. And then we also have, this is the Netflix Bumblebee. This is the current iteration that I have in my collection right now. This is part of the War for Cybertron series that came out a while back. And they also took this and made a gold bug, which is pretty similar. You guys could see it there. See what they look like together. So we'll move those. Showed you a masterpiece. So this is Bumblebee version 1 of the masterpiece figure. So you could see it there. Of course, this is more vehicle accurate, whereas this is more Studio Series is cartoon. So same thing here with the MP45. Right, they were going a bit more cartoony, but also just a tad more accurate than the Studio Series here. So we can move them out of the way. And then the other Bumblebee that I have, this little one, this is the G2 that came out, I think, in the 90s. I've had this one for a while. So it's a tiny little Bumblebee. Again, very cartoon-like in nature. So there you go, that's that. And then some more recent examples, I guess, of... Here's a Cliff Jumper. This is the Busworthy Bumblebee, I guess, Studio Series Cliff Jumper that came out. And they also made a hubcap out of that. So that was, I think, in Earthrise. So here's hubcap there. And that's that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on to the comparisons here. Starting off with some Decepticons. Here's Runabout and Run Amok. So you could see them there together. Move the camera back slightly. Here you go. I think that looks really cool in my book. These are both from Earthrise. And we'll move them out. Bring in more Decepticons. And here we have him next to Starscream here. And that is Earthrise Starscream. And then here we have him next to Kingdom Blitzwing. And I believe these two are going to be reissued in from Takara Tomy, but these are the ones I have for now, which do look pretty cool. So we'll move them out of the way. So I think that's it for the Decepticons that I have on hand. We'll go ahead and move on to the actual Bumblebee. So let's start off here with the current Bumblebee I have in my collection. This is the Netflix Bumblebee, part of the War for Cybertron line there. It's hard to say which one I will keep in my collection as my Bumblebee. Of course, this one has been in my collection for quite a while, and I think it still looks good and nice. I actually do prefer the colors on this guy. This is, again, more toy-like. Again, it was based on the War for Cybertron, whereas Studio Series here is based on the movie / cartoon. They both look great, but you could see them there together. There's the backs. And as I mentioned during the transformation phase, Bumblebee here, the Netflix one, you have to take this whole back part out in order to get him into the vehicle mode. In this one, the Studio Series, you do not. That's part of the whole transformation. So there you go. Another figure we can compare him to in robot mode. So they took this and gave us this, which is Goldbug. And there you go. Goldbug is pretty much Bumblebee just reformatted, I believe. And there, you can see them there together. This one does have the Bumblebee, the Autobot symbol on the chest. So, kind of similar. Move them out of the way. We'll bring in, this is Masterpiece Bumblebee. This one's been out a while. This is version 1 that came out many moons ago, many years ago. And you guys could see them there together. Actually, this one kind of reminds me a bit of the Netflix Bumblebee quite a lot. The transformations are actually very similar between this guy and that guy. There you go. So we'll move him out. We'll move him out for now, and we'll bring in the MP45. This is Masterpiece 2.0 version of Bumblebee there. Of course, to my eye, this is more cartoon accurate. This is a masterpiece figure, but it's a bit fiddly to transform, a bit challenging to say the least, versus this one right here. But some of the steps from this guy do remind me quite a bit of this guy when you transform him. So it seems like they took somewhat what they learned, what they did here, and it kind of applied it here, just in a lesser scale. And then if you want to see this guy compared to the two masterpiece figures, here you go. There's Bumblebee 1.0 on the left and 2.0 on the right. Then we'll move them out. And then other molds that they took from the Netflix Bumblebee would be, for example, here, he is next to Hubcap. That's his Earthrise, I believe, Hubcap, which is essentially Cliff Jumper, but the transformation again is very similar here to the Netflix Bumblebee. You see all three of them there standing together. Then we'll move him out and bring in Cliff Jumper. So we'll move them out of the way. There you go. Here's Cliff Jumper. This is came out as part of Buzzworthy Bumblebee. It's the Slash Studio Series 86. So very cool looking. He does look a bit out of place the way they've stylized this one versus this guy here. And that's a reason why I say it's going to be a bit of a hard choice to decide which one's going to be the Bumblebee in my collection. This is a really good looking figure. I still have a soft spot for this guy here because he looks really well paired up with a Cliff Jumper here. There you go. So we'll move Cliff Jumper out of the way. And let's do some movie bots here. So here is the RC and Cup. That is Studio Series 86 RC. She also was released as part of Kingdom. And this is the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Slash Studio Series 86 Cup. Again, these two were all in the movie together, albeit in different scenes. So that's them. I'll move them out of the way. And let's keep it all G1. So let's say here he is next to Cosmos. Move his gun down. And next to Brawn, Studio Series 86 Brawn, and this guy was Legacy Cosmos. They look pretty cool together. There you go. So I'll move them out of the way and get these two guys out. Bring in Sunstreaker and Wheeljack. These are both part of that whole 5-pack that came with Hound in it and part of Legacy. But there you go. Move them out. And then here's Legacy United Gears. Again, G1 Gears, as I like to call them. There you go. We'll move Gears out of the way and bring in Jazz. They do look really cool there together. So that's that. And then, of course, if you gotta have Bumblebee, you gotta have your Optimus Prime. I'm gonna fix the camera here in a second. This is the Earthrise Optimus Prime here. So you guys could see the size difference there. But there you go. All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for me. Let me know which one you prefer. Obviously, I'm still having a bit of a hard time as to which one will be my Bumblebee in my G1 shelf. Have a hard time letting go of the Netflix Bumblebee here. And of course, we got plenty of good representations, and I'm missing a whole bunch that I don't have. But this one right here, the Studio Series 86, not bad at all. It's got some nice colors to it. Definitely very cartoony like, and I do like, again, the posability. He's a pretty cool overall, but again, you guys let me know which one you prefer. If I missed anything, if you have any questions, certainly let me know. But otherwise, if you made it to the end of the video, again, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.